Hello everyone, I'm David, I'm a TI, and today I'm going to show y'all where I came from, and I'm going to be talking about how pseudo-independent advocates and government infiltrators start these channels and infiltrate groups, and just why they do it and the purpose of it, and how rampant it is. Now, I am pretty upset, because I'm seeing shows that so people that claim to be targets that can say words I can't say, and they're saying them and getting away with it. As a matter of fact, they're putting them on their label for a show and getting away with it. But if I did that, oh no. So that makes me wonder. I'm starting to question some people. People. I'm not even going to names because I don't spread names unless I know for sure people's are perps, and I know y'all understand that. So I'm going to be talking about something I want to cover is Project Bluebeam seems to be right around the corner. And the reason I say that is because every time my TV, I don't look up UFO stuff, okay? Now, when I was a kid, my dad came running in the house and said there's a ball of light outside above the pond shining a light in the pond. Well, we got the video camera, and me and my brothers and my stepmom went out there, and there was a ball of light above the pond, but it was not shining a light at that point. But my dad swears to God it was. It hovered around the pond, big ball, bright solid light hovered around the pond, and I'm talking about a ball of light, a big ball of light, and then it slowly started just rising up slow, and then boom, it just disappeared before our eyes, just shot off with turbo speed. So I don't know what that was, but I really think it's some government made stuff. I know when they abduct people, it's not aliens abduction. It's government black projects part of it. Because if you just put it this way, if I'm the government and I want to abduct somebody, run some experiments on them, do some mind control on them, then I'm going to wear a mask to divert people and make the whole experience, seem like it's, and throw them all off the key. So anyway, it's crazy stuff goes on with this non-consensual experimentation. All kinds of stuff's done. So I'm going to show y'all where I came from, okay? And I'm going to do a commentary on a couple of homeless videos. And they messed with the volume on this one. So let me see. This was in 2017, 2018, okay? Look how bad I looked.
2 months ago.
And that's not from drugs. Oh yeah, another thing I need to clarify is I do not do drugs, okay? What my movements are from tardive dyskinesia. I was force-fed psych meds so long, I have tardive dyskinesia from the medicine, okay? So all these people saying my movements are weird, yes they are. I've gotten made fun of a lot over the years over them movements, but I don't care what nobody thinks. Also, in this picture, I was a TI. I just now found out community policing. I got that video sent to me by my handler at this point, and then I quit my job that I had for a few weeks because I was getting harassed there and threatened there, and then so I've been targeted since 2012, but I didn't find out till 2017 in December. So let's see when this video was. It's probably not going to tell the date. It was 7 years ago. Okay. And you see what it said, just rambling on about different scenarios they may want to use when they kidnap me and not believe them, like I'm in jail, committed suicide, mental ward at my mother's house, father's house. Also talk about being positive. We'll make another video today about the weapons and V2K stuff going on. Now, they made it hard for me to charge my phone. I was blacklisted to a T, and when I say blacklisted, churches would turn me down, homeless shelters would turn me down. If they found out, I would be plugging my phone in a public outlet somewhere, and they would turn the outlet off no matter where I went. If it was possible, they would turn it off. Now, every now and then I would find one and be able to do it, but they didn't want my phone charged or nothing. Totally blacklisted. So you got to understand, this is Florida. It's very hot there. So I'm walking around all day 24/7. And I know a lot of homeless TIs are going to be able to relate to this. This happened to me for years. I was like this, okay? Now look at my face. Look how rough I look. That's from the sun beating down on my face from me walking 24/7. Okay, now listen. I may have messed with the sound on this too.
Made it through another night. I'm going to cover some bases.
If they say I'm in jail, that's a lie. If they say I'm in a mental hospital, that's a lie. If they say I committed suicide, that's a lie. I'm just trying. If they say I'm at my mom's or dad's, that's a lie. You know, I'm trying to cover all these bases here of me coming up missing and what excuse they're going to use. You know, I'm not. None of them are going on. So just letting you know, there's no reason they should use any of them excuses because they're not going to be true and don't believe them. Anyway, I was a guest speaker last night on a talk show, and I got to tell my story, and I feel pretty good about it. People are listening. People know if something happens to me right now, and that's a good thing. You know, I appreciate everybody. Y'all know who y'all are. The talk show was Frank's, and the way Frank has treated me, I don't feel like that I trust him anymore. He tried to slander my name. And that's all good because I really feel like all these, you know, people just want to try to slander people's names out of jealousy. You know, I can't help it that I am targeted and I talked about it and I got a platform. That's the only reason I could think he would slander me because I've never done nothing to him. I only went to a couple of his things and seen how crazy it was with the people interjected and stuff like that and making farting noises and stuff. So I got off that call quick. I went to another call with Lynette, and I can't remember who it was. I think her name was, I don't know, she was on the West Coast, but that's what I was talking about there. There's a bunch of different talk shows out there. You need to plug into one and talk to them. I'm on different ones every night. Now, I saw, you know, I'm not saying talk shows are bad, talk shows are bad. If you really know your ropes and you're a seasoned TI, then you know what to look for and know who to ignore. But they're constantly got somebody in them calls. And I'm not saying it's the call monitor's fault or the person that calls fault at all, but I'm just saying perps love to attack people on them calls. So I stay away from the calls. But they did help me when I first was a TI. But once you start having people interrupting you, making noise in the background or discrediting you, get off, hang up as soon as possible because they're looking for reactions. About what's going on with me, I've been really trying to walk this spiritual path of God, turn everything over to God, and just, you know, follow the Lord right now and listen to as many YouTube videos about God and Yahshua. But I get into the book of Enoch and all that too, so some people might think that's wrong. Oh well, I keep an open mind. But also, you know, I don't know what to do about the community policing. You know, I got a job offer this morning, but it was from Craigslist in New Orleans 2 months ago, $11 an hour. I was jumping on it thinking I had a job, and then boom, no, I didn't have no job, so that sucks. Now in 2018, I was in 6 months, I was in 12 different states. So look, I can show you actually, look. Okay, that's Alabama. That's when my journey first started. That's my 2 things from New Orleans. My phone was very compromised at the time, so I would make videos and lose passwords and all that because I was so discombobulated by this program. So I actually had 3 different channels. Anyway, just keep your faith. Don't let this get you down. And I'm convinced I'll be kidnapped. There's other TIs that have been kidnapped in California and all around the world. And the people I'm talking to at the moment know about this kidnapping program and know that it's real. And you know, I'm not. And you know, and when I said my mom and dad. Okay. So if you want to watch that, the channel is called Jesus Coming. It's really hard to find if you want to watch where I came from. Now, I did download all these videos from all these different channels so I could go to them. Now I'm going to go to one where I was in Fort Myers, Florida. And listen what they did to my voice. My name's David Atkins. I thought I was in the video.
talking about I'm a targeted individual, 94 hours, 10 hours, like Nicola. The reason I'm doing this video is to share with y'all what's going on with me. I did not get back on video when I said I would do another video in Pensacola. However, that will never happen again if I don't do a video.
Now, when I recorded it and played it back before I uploaded it to YouTube, it didn't do that.
Tomorrow, no, I've been kidnapped, and I'm not lying. I'll do a video. I'm sorry. I totally lost concentration, and and that won't happen again. I can assure you that if you don't see a video tomorrow, that I've been kidnapped in Fort Myers, Florida. So,
now I was a vagabond, and I wasn't a vagabond by choice. So I was getting called by so-called TIs all around the country, and they would say, "Come live here, come live here," and I would come, and then I would get perped. But I really think too the TIs were real, and that they just, if you're a TI or something like that, while we're on the subject, and you want to invite somebody to come live, you got to make sure that you're willing to tell your paranoia, look, you got to turn it off. I'm going to turn you off for a couple months to give this person a fair chance. Then if I still think the same way in a couple months, 1 month, 2 months, however you want to set it, then I'll kick this person out, because, a lot of us, we want to have somebody at our house for security, but then when they get there, we get scared of them because we're traumatized and our paranoia leads it. So I'm just saying, I'm not talking about nobody's specific situation, but mine and what I've been through, okay? So my advice and stuff's all strictly off my stuff. So this is what had been happening. I'm in Fort Myers, Florida. I'd been to, at this point, I'd done been to New Orleans, Alabama, Philadelphia. I've been all around getting perked, Fort Lauderdale, dude invited me there. Somebody invited me to Philadelphia. Then somebody, I got catfished too by a honeypot, invited me, said that they were a TI and they were like 35 years old. Well, they picked me up at the airport or whatever, and then I get picked up at the airport, and this woman has her 2 sons in the front, and she's in the back, and she's like 60 years old, and she's catfished me, and I have no choice but to get in there, and she takes me to a trailer park 12 miles outside of town in Texas, and needless to say, the whole situation was weird, didn't work out. They messed with my phone. The place I was at, there'd be rats crawling around in the trailer and cut the power off. I could never charge my phone, so I look on the GPS and I realize I'm 12 miles away from a store. So anyway, I got saved by the bell on that one. I start freaking out, saying I've been lied to. I don't understand what's going on. So what happened was after that was the police came, asked me what was going on. I said, this lady lied to me, got me all the way down here and lied. So what they did was they took me to town, just dropped me off. So then I was homeless in that town, and a lot of other stuff happened. I'm not gonna go into, but so that was that story about that. So here we go. I'm gonna play some more stuff.
Like I said, I'm sorry I had stuff going on and stuff and couldn't make video, but that will not happen no more. And I promise you, I'll make sure that no matter what, I'll make a video every day. Anyway, they V2K me real bad. They're riding around pointing, we're gonna get you, this and this and this, following me everywhere.
And they really were doing that. And V2K was telling me all this stuff was gonna happen, and I'm glad that I've learned to ignore V2K for the most part over the years, but it used to really get to me, and I would be in panic and fear from it. And so I was making videos every day and saying, well, if I don't make a video, then something happened. So that's what was going on there. Let's continue on. And I'm just trying to show people I was homeless too. I've been there, so if people think I haven't been through nothing, I went through teetotal hell for 3 or 4 years straight, longer than that actually, but just like the homeless situation. But so here, let's continue more, and then I'm going to get into the information after I get done commentary on this little video. We got about a minute left.
I'm getting mugged in stores, community policing going on. They basically watch everything I go, everywhere I go, I get flagged. Pedophile, snitch, child abuser, woman abuser, just different labels is what I think they're using. I don't know what they're saying. But I know as soon as I get that, I watch this video and it explains it. As soon as I get somewhere, I send out notifications to churches, businesses, everywhere, every person I come in contact with. So thus poisoning my associations. And you know, it's going on big time here. You know what I'm saying? I can't even go into church and eat safely, you know. And this is crazy. And just know, you know what I'm saying? I'm just checking in to let y'all know I am all right. But I will do it. I will do a video tomorrow and let y'all know I'm okay. If anybody's got any suggestions about B2K or how to deal with it, or more or less how to deal with stop community policing altogether, you know what I'm saying? I've had people trying to help me, and they've been poisoned the people trying to help me. So, you know, just anyway, any suggestions or anything, I would appreciate it. Number 504-277-4.
And see, they cut out the phone number. I was trying to get help by telling my phone number. Let's play it. I'm sorry for this noise in the background. Somebody keeps texting. Hold on. Okay. So you see, they cut the phone number out.
Suggestions or anything, I would appreciate it. Number 504-277-4.
And you see, they cut it out. They didn't want nobody helping me, and that's what they do with targets. So I'm just showing you it is possible. I didn't give up. I went through a lot of stuff. There's days I felt like giving up, and I didn't give up. And I'm still targeted, but my situation got better. And so I'm convinced that anybody's situation can get better if I got through what I got through. So anyway, if there's any questions or somebody wants to watch the rest of these videos, like I said, I managed to
My name's David Atkins.
I managed to get there's the one about filing a report with the FBI.
Hey y'all, David Atkins here. I'm a targeted individual in Pensacola, Florida. Last night was a pretty rough night. I actually thought it was going to happen last night. However, I learned one thing last night from some TI friends, and that's when I call people and associate, just don't talk negative and be that negative, because people really don't want to hear it. So that's one lesson I learned last night.
So anyway, if you'd like to, I'm going to get on to the information. Just showing y'all I've been through hell, and there is hope, because I thought all them times in them situations doing them videos, I didn't think there was any hope. And if I would have gave up, I wouldn't be here today. Okay, so I'm just going to read a quick information and I'll be done. Not going to take long. I just think it's very important at this point with seeing, TI shows, supposed TI shows being able to say words that I can't say. And you know what words them are. This is one of them. If I say that word, what happens? Lo and behold, I get a strike. Told they're going to take my channel down. It is possible to beat the YouTube algorithm. Now, I don't want to get on here and blast the information on how I beat the YouTube algorithm out. Sure, I'm sure I could make a video on how to beat the YouTube algorithm and get a lot of views, but my worry is, and so if you want to learn how to beat the algorithm, first of all, I have to know you're a real TI before I give you the secret. I'm not going to give no TI that I don't know for sure is real access to blow their platform up and deceive others. I really think you got to watch out for these government informant, agent, perpetrators that will get on these shows, create a YouTube channel. And I'm really convinced, if you can talk about stuff and not get flagged and I can't talk about it, then you're spreading some kind of misinformation. And that's what they do. They get these channels to spread all this good information, and then they'll throw boom, 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 3 or 4 points of information that leave you in a misinformation bubble, as one of my comments said from a book they read called Psychological Operations. So anyway, I'm going to read this. Artificial superintelligence uses chatterbox to generate fake news. Artificial superintelligence technologies are collecting and cataloging all types of data from social media to influence and drive a person's decision-making process as that person formulates his or her thoughts and prepares to act or speak. This data includes audience data, operational data, content data, etc. about the victim. It's called metadata or survivor, whatever you want to call it. Artificial intelligence captures metadata together with persons' interactions with friends, family to build user profiles that in turn are used to deceive and manipulate that person with an AI-enabled feedback loop to determine what that person can maintain as truth. And I'm going to stop right there for a minute. I had somebody that said, I watch all your videos. The other day, I thought it was AI. Are you sure you haven't been cloned? I'm sure I haven't been cloned. You got to understand, they hit my frontal lobe. So when I start pausing and can't remember, I'm being hit, attacked. They're hitting my brain. My brain feels scrambled at the time, and I can't come up with, if I'm in the middle of the interview and you see me doing that, that's what's happening. They're hitting my frontal lobe, which makes it hard to think or remember the last question that was talked about. Okay, pseudo-independent advocates are used to control, infiltrate, and manipulate information and to warp online discourse and online activism through disinformation, lies, and misinformation, half-truths. Okay, half-truths are more dangerous than lies because disinformation you can pretty much point out, but misinformation blends a lot of the truth in and then throws them little half-truths to disqualify all that information. And misdirection, cyber theater, engaging in cyber theater tactics against those who try to expose the truth. Government monitors and manipulates internet communications of real space groups and covertly infiltrates online communities when informants and perpetrators turned into provocateurs to sow dissension and disseminate false information. With mind control technologies, the objectives are not only to sow dissension and disseminate false information, but to cognitively infiltrate activist groups for the purpose of training, research, and development, and to discredit anyone who speaks out that is happening using disinformation, lies, and misinformation, half-truths, and of course misdirection, cyber theater, to prevent a credible online source from developing. It's done to disrupt credible information from credible sources spreading to general public or legitimate victims. This is accomplished by sending covert perpetrators and informants into chat rooms, online social networks, real space groups to spread false and damaging conspiracy theories so fanciful and fantastic in nature they cannot be believed. Government perpetrators and informants will come into such groups and communities and begin directly and indirectly discrediting the TI community with misdirection, cyber theater. Government perpetrators and informants will inject into such groups' community cyber theater and misdirection tactics using the fanciful fantastic such as, say, evil aliens. Whether one believes in evil aliens is not the point because most people don't believe in evil aliens. They then automatically equate the mind control atrocities of the government as being false as well. This tactic relies on the average person's use of binary thinking and the tendency to generalize a single sample point provocateur to a whole group of people, target individuals. So they may say evil aliens are doing this, or they may be telling a testimony and say, well, I saw a spaceship fall out of the sky and an alien landed in my room and hit me with a beam. But they're a lot slicker than that. I mean, that's obvious. These people are not obvious. So they're going to throw an alien. If anybody has thrown the alien idea out there, I wouldn't trust them because that's called misdirection. And actually it's called cyber theater, misdirection or cyber theater. Psychology and other social scientists have now been weaponized to not only discredit but shape and control how online activism and discourse unfolds over the Internet of Things. Perpetrators, informers turned into provocateurs will create or infiltrate TI groups, support groups to accomplish this, and then when the control group becomes suspect or exposed, compromised, perpetrators will slowly begin to break away from those older control groups and start doing new control groups. This is a red flag to identify perpetrators and informants in the online community. It's an online indicator of deception and manipulation. To withdraw oneself from an online community because one believes that online community is somehow compromised but corrupted is one thing, but to do so by the simultaneous creation of a new group in the process of breaking away from the old group is a clear calling card of obvious deception and manipulation. Those engaging in such simultaneous activities are almost all certainly government perps. For mind control technologies to be effective, they must keep their victim inside a controlled environment. The contractors cannot allow their victims to engage in a pattern of random or chaotic situational conversational scenarios unchecked because it disrupts their technology by disrupting the verification process. Without verification, there can be no mind control. It simply cannot exist. Every response of the victim must be verified. All right, so that's what your street theater is for. That's what your noise campaign's for. That's what your gang stalking's for. Verification. Independent advocates. Okay, let's see if I got anything else to say. Oh yeah, think of what, and I've been, oh man, I've been doing what Onionhead Andrew has referred to me. I definitely feel a little different so far. I'm like, I really haven't done it enough. I mean, I'm a busy person. I'm not going to explain the responsibilities I have because it's nobody's business, but I'm a busy person a lot of times, so I don't have a lot of time. However, I started on the back of my head. I'm going to try to get her to go to my spine. I've went over all my scars so far, and it takes a while because you got to go literally inch by inch, and I'm hoping my thing don't burn out. If it does, I guess I'll have to break down and use this other one. So I definitely feel sometimes after I'm done with certain spots, tingling sensation. But he said I won't be able to tell all the way until I'm done with my whole thing. So I want to read of something because this is a good way to think about the technology in us. And also, I'm still doing the garlic. So the garlic minimized stuff a lot. So I'm just letting you know my experience with it is, and the way I do it is I'll take a clove of garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, 3 cloves of garlic sometimes, depending on what I want to get out of my body, and then I'll press it, wait 8 minutes, and then 8 minutes, you got a 3 to 4 minute window after you press it, you wait 8 minutes. So Allison is the thing that protects. It's like when you cut yourself, there'll be blood. So when you cut the garlic, Allison will come out, and that's what you want to swallow. So again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Think of it like this. This is very important. I posted this yesterday. A microtransmitter smaller than a mote of dust embeds in a brain and then is remotely activated through wireless tech. It communicates via a closed loop with other smart dust particles, all of which work like chain links in a giant mesh. Communicates via a closed loop with other smart dust particles, all of which work like chain links in a giant mesh fence. Sorry, I repeated that. It emits an internal frequency once attached and commanded to so that it can induce any sort of reaction, anger, fear, paranoia, etc. The CIA ran multiple pools of research on this and actually admitted via the Navy-run program at the time back in 1985 that hot pools of research on this and actually admitted via the Navy-run program that back in 1985 their goal was to develop a kill switch that could essentially terminate anyone at will. The program, Project Sanguine, was cut by the Navy officially and quietly moved under the CIA's offices. So that's part of what's going on too. So anyway, I thought I would share a little bit about me, where I came from. I don't know. I got all the videos on my external from 2018. I'm trying to think if I need to make a playlist and play them to show where I came from. Any advice on that, please let me know. Also, the couple people who donated this last month, much appreciated. Not expected at all, but much appreciated, and it did help. It always helps. Zoom is not free. Video software is not free. So it really helps. But like I said, it's not needed. The videos will continue to come on. I can apply for monetization again in August, even though this channel's never been about that. Anybody who's watched me from the beginning knows that. Hopefully I will get that though, because, it was enough money to, it wasn't much, about $50 a month is what I was getting, but that was enough to, keep Zoom going and, software editing and all that stuff. Also, if you'd like to do a testimony with me, I don't make you show your face. I don't make you show your name. If you want to, you can hide your name. You can hide your face. We understand. Also, if you want to send a testimony in for me to share, just read it off. I'll be glad to read it off. People love hearing testimonies because, one, it proves it's real. Two, the more testimonies we get proves it's real. Two, other TIs like to compare and figure out what works for them and try to, because different things work for different targets. What works for me as far as dealing with it might not work for you, besides, a universal thing that'll work for anybody, which is prayer and God. That's probably been my biggest help. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling, but yeah, targeted testimonies at pm.me or hollyspunk@gmail.com. If you want me to read your testimony or want to come on, show your face and get your story out, or you can not put your face, you can change your name and tell your story. You're perfectly welcome. I'll keep everything confidential. God bless all TIs.